Yeah,
or who is the...
sir, I will be
you are the
moderating today.
okay.
Thank you.
Raji Kudiyat will be the moderator.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from Dr. Shaji Kudiyat. I am will be the one moderating today. So today is 1801st day of our uninterrupted daily Zoom meeting. So today we will have a wonderful discussion with a panel of intelligent and internationally acclaimed homeopathy doctors. So before we begin, we will be having a 1-minute silent prayer. So thank you. So before I begin get into the subject, I wish to remind all of you that we will be celebrating the 5 years of our uninterrupted daily Zoom meetings on 28th of September 2025. So what we have done for the last 5 years uninterruptedly, daily, to promote homeopathy is a wonderful job nobody had done in the history of medicine. So it is a time for a big celebration. So we appreciate everybody who believe in homeopathy, who understand and the benefactors of homeopathy should come forward and celebrate this wonderful job done by a team of passionate homeopathy doctors and well-wishers from across the world. It is a teamwork, so we need to celebrate. We appreciate to you joining us on the event at Taj Vivanda Hotel in Cochin on 28th September. So please visit our website www.ifph.care, where we will get a special page for our special program on the 5-year anniversary, and you can get into there. You can make the payment. The brochure contains our account details, and there is a form to fill up and register also online. So please do that. So now we get into the session today. We will be having a panel discussion on the problems faced in homeopathic education. So homeopathy, we need to renew our education system, because our philosophy and our approach, every way homeopathy stands unique among all other systems of medicine. So we should have a unique way of educating our new generation doctors. So this is a important discussion to enlighten the concerned authorities regarding this matter. So our panelists today are none other than Dr. M.K. Sahani from India, who is well known for his deep experience. His father was a homeopathy doctor who made a big invention of homeopathic medicine transmission through hair. And also Dr. Joe Isaac, who is also a well-educated, involved in, is a retired professor from Government Homeopathic Medical College, Trivandrum, Kerala, involved in international education. Many doctors from around the world are approaching, and he is traveling. He's a very traveler. I think he's joining from Latvia, I think, today, Dr. Joe Isaac. So he's a constant traveler across the world and an internationally acclaimed person. Along with that, Professor Dr. Aparna Sandeep Parikh and Dr. Mansi Jaktar is also joining us. So welcome all of you. As per the instruction given to me by the chief coordinator of our webinar section, each panelist will receive 10 minutes each to present your ideas. Then there will be a discussion, and then each of you will get 1 or 2 minutes to make your conclusive statement. So I begin with Dr. M.K. Sahani, sir. Sir, your time begins now. You can take your 10 minutes and make your statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Raji. Dr. Kudiyat, thank you very much. I will be uploading my PPT just now, and I hope it is visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So without wasting time, problem faced in homeopathic educations. So it is my suggestions, and as well as what are the problems, as well as what are the challenges, suggestions what we can make. So let me proceed further. It is a matter of great honor and responsibility to speak on to speak on the subject that concerns very future of the homeopathy on the education system. Education is the backbone. Just a moment, sir. Is the backbone of any medical science, and in homeopathy, it is even more critical because our practice is based on keen observations, logical reasoning, and individual applications of the remedy. Today, I want to share my thoughts on two serious problems. One is the curriculum revision and need for the practical exposure. Both need to be made a practical job-oriented, producing graduates who often feel lost the moment they step out of the college. So these are the two areas where I am going to discuss. This is the curriculum revision, need for the practical exposures, and both needs to that I just mentioned now. And now, what is the silent burden is there? Our curriculum is more than a decade old. Recently, it has been revised, yet it needs it remains a place with the cosmetic. Let me share the two real story. A few months back, I interacted a batch of the final year students during the webinar. I asked, how many of you know what are the artificial intelligence in healthcare and how it might help homeopathic practice? Out of 120, only 3 raised their hands. So this is the situation. Why? Because our curriculum do not introduce the modern concept. There is no connection of evidence-based homeopathy, telemedicines, or public health strategy. The world outside is moving towards integrative care, digital platform, and data-driven research work. But our syllabus still expect students to memorize long list of symptoms without any context. So problem in the curriculum is overemphasis on the role of learning instead of clinical reasoning, minimal exposure to the research methods, no structured training or communications skill, patient counseling or medico-legal aspect, and completely missing the digital health integrative medicines, preventive care models. This is why students complete graduates with the theoretical knowledge, and that does not match with the real situations. Lack of the practical exposure, it is a big threat, because the second challenge is perhaps more dangerous, the lack of adequate practical training. I recently visited an institution. I asked the students to, during the recently I visited an institution as an examiner. I asked the student during the casual talk, how you will differentiate the acute appendicitis and renal colic. The student looked confused and said, sir, we do not have seen such cases in our hospital. So this is the scenario. We have not seen this type of the what moved. So this is not the student's fault. How will he differentiate between the acute appendicitis and renal colic? The student look confused and say, sir, we do not have seen this. So this is not the student's fault. Yeah. Then there is a bigger threat is the lack of practical exposure. That is The second challenge, perhaps more dangerous, lack of adequate practical training. This is a system failure in many colleges. OPD have low patient load, OPD load. Students mostly observe case passively rather than active engagement in the history taking and analysis. Very few get an opportunity to do clinical examinations or diagnosis and research independently, reasoning independently. So what is happening? They graduate, open a clinic, and then call senior to ask, sir, what should I give in higher fever? Imagine a physician, surgeon who has not only seen the operations on PowerPoint slides. That is the situation some of our homeopathic graduates faces when they have only theoretical exposure. So why this matter? Because education decides credibility. If our graduates loses the confidence and skill, patient loses the faith in the system, and the patient will not trust the homeopathy. So we must accept that knowledge alone does not make doctor. Skills and attitude complete the picture. So suggestions. The first is the roadmap to change. We cannot just criticize. Let us talk about our solutions that are practical and achievable. Curriculum modernization, shift to competency-based learning. I think our Central Council, yes, National Commission of Homeopathy, they are going on this line also. This is a new changes that is coming up now. Instead of bulky content, define what a graduate must know, must do, and must demonstrate should be the given emphasis. For example, taking a complete case in 30 minutes, identifying the red flag symptoms, and using repertory logical, not mechanically. Then shift to the competency-based learning, basic to the digital health, evidence-based homeopathy, public health and preventive care, fundamental of research and biostatistics. Then regular updates, create a review mechanism every 3 to 5 years. Medical knowledge evolves, our curriculum must do also. So now this revision of the syllabus is required so that it remain updated. During my tenure in the CCH, and also subsequently we have revised our basic BHMS syllabus twice or thrice. So the NCH is also doing it, but the college people, they are criticizing why you are changing stuff. So you must understand the need for the change. Strengthening the practical exposure, early clinical exposure. In allopathic college, a student entered the hospital in the first year itself. Why should our student wait until the third year? Let them start observing and participating from the day one. Again, I will cite an incident. During my tenure as Education Committee Chairman, I visited a college, and where I saw, it was in Baroda, the students of the first BHMS course were standing in the hospital, and they were. So I was very much impressed with that idea, and I tried to introduce, and Dr. Jose may be knowing that it was introduced. We recommended for the exposure of the student at least from the second BHMS. Then skill labs and simulation, where patients load it. Simulation model can teach, for example, dummy mannequin and respiratory sounds or digital platform for the case analysis. Then strengthening the practical exposure, mandatory digital case logs. Each student should maintain a digital portfolio of cases handled, signed by the teachers. This will ensure accountability. Friends, at my college here in Patna, we have tried to have a case log for the, and we are trying to implement it. So let's hope that it becomes more practical. Then internship restructuring. Internship should not be a picnic. It must have a structured rotation, daily learning, goal, and assessment. Then faculty development program. This is one of the backbone that teachers stick to the outdated method. Changes is impossible. We need training in modern teaching technology, infrastructure, interactive learning, and clinical mentoring. I'm aware that we have with us Dr. Aparna Parikh and Mansi Jatkar, and they are the people who are also related to the NCH at presently as a member of the advisory team. And I am aware that they are very much interested in making it a teaching faculty development programs feasible. Then foster research and collaborations, encourage mini research project, interdepartmental discussions, and college collaborations with diagnostic centers. This not only builds scientific temperament, but also boosts confidence. So personal anecdote, when I was a student, I remember my father, who himself was a homeopathy, telling me, if you want to learn homeopathy, go to see the patient, then to the book. First see the patient and then you come to the book. Today, many students do the reverse. They spend hours of the time with the books, but hardly have the quality patients with them. So this should be reversed, and clinics should be the classroom for the students. So conclusion, a call for collective actions. Friends, we are at the crossroad. We must, if we ignore these issues, we are producing paper doctors instead of real physicians. But if we not modernize our curriculum, integrate practical exposure, but build research culture, we can create a generation completely confident and compassionate homeopathy. Let us pledge today, we will not let outdated system to back our future. Together, they can transform our homeopathic education into something the world looks better with the respect. So thank you. And with this, I conclude my sessions. You can carry on, sir.
Thank you, Sahani sir, for your presentation and sharing your views. Next, I invite Dr. Jose Isaac, who is also a retired professor, to make his ideas for the revitalization of our education system. Over to you, Dr. Jose Isaac.
Dr. Jose
Thank
was
you, Dr.
also a
Shaki.
partner with me during the education committee, and we had a lot of discussion on the education problem solving. I am happy that he is here today. Yeah, start, Dr. Jose.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sahani Saab. Thank you, Dr. Shaji. See, we'll come straight to the topic because we have only 10 minutes. As Sahani Saab said, the main thing is when we have a course for a particular system of medicine, what we need is to, or our goal is to produce good practitioners who can practice the classical real homeopathy. But that is not happening, even after 50 years of CCH, NCH and all. What is happening is 90% of the students who are coming out of our institutions doesn't have the confidence to practice classical homeopathy. Actually, in the whole world, India is the leader in homeopathy, but we couldn't take that leadership, or we are not accepted in the West in a proper way, mainly because of this. The main problem is in our clinical training. And now what is happening is the medical officer is in charge of the IPD, OPD, everything, and teachers are not really doing something in their OPDs. What we have to do is these clinical subjects, these 6 clinical subjects like organon, materia medica, repertory, practice of medicine, surgery, gynecology. These 6 subjects should have separate OPDs in every college. And whatever is taught in the classroom, the teacher should be able to demonstrate in the OPDs. So only this way, people, teachers will be responsible, because teachers are studying or teaching on one side, and they are not supposed to come to the clinic or in the OPDs much. So every department, every clinical department should have its own OPD and its own IPD. Then they can show what they are teaching in the practical side. Then another important problem is emphasis on the homeopathic subject. We all know that the total student who is passing the BHMS or MD, He is spending 75% of his time on non-clinical subjects or non-homeopathic subjects, I would say. That only 25% of the time is spent by a student for homeopathic subjects. This is the biggest problem. But when they come out of the college, they have to practice homeopathy. How they can do that? So emphasis should be given on homeopathic subjects, and only if they know homeopathy, only they can practice. All other subjects are taught to support the knowledge of homeopathy. So that should be given more importance. Another problem now we are facing is the mushrooming of the colleges and the number of seats vacant in each college. Some districts have even 5 homeopathy colleges. And so nobody can survive in a proper way. This is from the other side, the financial side of the colleges. Another thing is, these teachers should have their own practice. Only a practitioner can build or create a practitioner. Theoretical knowledge is not at all enough, because many teachers doesn't have practice, and teachers should concentrate on their own practice, and those who have faith and good practice only can become good teachers, or only can produce doctors who have confidence, doctors who can practice. So this is one area where I think is the most important area, because our syllabus curriculum has undergone changes several times. Several committees, several education committees changed it. And I think we have already reached a level of perfection. Of course, clinical side should be given more importance, and the medical field itself is turning to that side. Then the second thing I would like to say is about the teachers training, because like in B.Ed or M.Ed, I think our teachers should be given some training on the new methods of teaching, and to get exposure from different angles, like UGC experts, or somebody has to, maybe NCH can do a zonal training courses for teachers, and every teacher should at least attend 5 or 6 days in 5 years. These teachers training courses should be made compulsory, because we know that UGC training is there. Now at least we have the net for selecting the teachers. It's a good thing, very good thing, which was done by the last NCH. And I hope that more training for the teachers should also come from, not only from the homeopathic field. The teachers should be, the people who are speaking on these training courses should not only be from homeopathy, but from other areas like UGC and other things. So this improvement in education cannot come only from syllabus. The implementation is the problem. At the implementation level, we lack good teachers and good practitioners. Only good teachers and good practitioners can build or create new good homeopaths. And another important thing is our IPDs. In many colleges, OPDs are okay, but IPD lacks sufficient occupancy. That is a big problem now. So these are the things, these are the areas which we have to concentrate. And unless and until we do this, the standard of teaching will go down, and the quality of the new, the people who are coming from our colleges will also only go down. So coming back to this, the main thing is proper clinical training in classical homeopathy. Second thing is stop the mushrooming of the colleges. Third, a teacher's training program should be a continuous teachers training program should be conducted by the NCH in different zones like North India, South and East and West, like that, to all the teachers, and should be made compulsory that every teacher attends this course at least 5 days in 5 years or something like that. Then only we can improve. So the improvement cannot come from one side. It should come from the implementation level. And that is the main problem now. because I was also a member of education committee while Dr. Sahani Saab was the chairman. And many times it has undergone overhauling and many kinds of changes. But it has, I don't think we could achieve the goal in our for our education. Our BHMS and MD holders who are coming out of the institutions are not confident to practice homeopathy. This is the situation. I think if we all sit together, discuss these things many times, and once the new NCH has come, new team has come, and I think these areas will be given importance. I thank IFPH for giving this opportunity and also enlightening others about this area, which is the most important area in homeopathy now. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Josai sir. Now it is time for Professor Dr. Aparna Sandip Parikh. Doctor, I appreciate you to give a small self-introduction because I am just an incidental moderator today. I know that I was unable to introduce you
We had
properly.
presented the lectures
So
in this
please give a
forum.
self-introduction, madam.
Good evening to everyone. Myself, Dr. Arpada Sandip Parikh. First of all, thank you very much to IFPH, the whole team, Dr. Sahani sir, for giving me an opportunity to speak on this big platform. I am a head of the department and professor in the Department of Repertory at Srimati KB Abad Homeopathic Medical College, Chandwad, District, Nashik, Maharashtra. I am teaching this subject from last 26 years, and I am a resource person of Health Science Education Technology Unit of MUHS, that is Maharashtra University of Health Sciences. I have conducted several faculty development programs. Just Sahani sir told that there is a need of faculty development program. So I have conducted many times this faculty development program in my college as well as in other colleges also. Nowadays, NCH has introduced the competency-based dynamic curriculum. So our university has trained all of us, most of the teachers, to take this workshop. So I have conducted this workshop of CBDC, more than 5 colleges, 6 colleges. I have done this workshop. I have introduced the what is NCH, what is CBDC, how to conduct, that is how to use that competency-based dynamic curriculum, that is competency table. I generally teach. So regarding my introduction, there are lots of things. So nowadays I become a member of the NCH Smart Homeo committees, me and also Mansi Jatkar ma'am. So I think it is sufficient. Published several research paper also doing PhD in my subject. Lots of things I did for the promotion of homeopathy. So without wasting too much time, because we have very less time, so today Dr. Sahani sir has given me a topic that is called as a education problems in education. So is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Is my
Yes.
okay? So somewhat I have written in Hindi also, so that those who are Hindi sider, they can understand what I want to convey my message. So the problems which I just saw is that there is a financial burden and accessibility problems. That means parents who are unable to pay the fees which is applicable for doing the BHMS or MD course or whatever courses, such as PhD also. And accessibility, that means the students are unable to reach that particular uh, institute or where they want to learn the homeopathy. So just a question from all of you, that have you ever seen a bright child drop out of school or college just because their parents couldn't afford the fees? So this is a very big problem. Or a talented student walking miles just to reach the nearest school. So sometimes the student has to walk several kilometers to reach their nearest school or college. And sadly, this is the reality for millions of students across our country. And the second most problem is that this is related to the financial issue, that they have no money to pay the fees which is applicable for their course, whatever course they are doing. I am not just talking about the BHMS. I am also talking about all of the courses which a student are doing. So education is said to be the key to success. If anybody wants to success, there should be education, whatever may be the type of education. But what if the door is locked due to poverty? If there is a poverty, there is financial burden on the parents to pay the fees. Nowadays, I have seen this, since I am working in the admission committee of my college, I have seen that lots of parents comes and they are unable to pay the fees. They generally say that your fees is very high, we cannot pay your fees. So this is a very financial burden is on every parent. And if their college is so far, they have to walk for that. That is the another thing, that they are not accessible to that particular college. They have to walk several miles to get the knowledge. So another one is the financial burden. The second thing is, so education is no longer affordable for many schools and colleges. Fees are increasing every year, and not other than this, the additional expenses are also like that. That they have to pay the fees, as well as uh, they have to or they have to get all these things, that the books amount, stationery, transport, uniforms, coaching, internet and digital devices. These are very much necessary. So these are the additional expenses other than the college fees. So this is the financial burden on parents. So many families from middle or low income groups struggle to manage this cost. Whatever fees they have to pay, this is very difficult for them. So they have to take loans or use up savings just to educate their children. And nowadays it is very difficult to apply for loan and to get the loan. So some students have to take part-time jobs or even drop out of college or school because of these financial problems. This is a very great problem nowadays. This is not only affects their education but also their mental health and confidence. Because of this, their mental health been disturbed. So in higher education, like in engineering, medicine, like BHMS or MBA, the fees are often beyond reach. Despite scholarships and loans, many talented students are left out. So the second problem, which is more important, is that they are unable to reach that particular platform. So the problem is of accessibility. So accessibility means how easily student can access education. So how they can assess the education which they want to do. So not every student in India has equal access to quality education. So there are some challenges. Which are those challenges? Number one, that is the rural versus urban divide. Students in villages often don't have good school, internet or qualified teacher. The students who are, this is a common problem of student in the villages and the students who are learning in school as well as in colleges. So there are some problems related to internet or qualified teacher. Generally the teachers are reluctant to go to rural area to teach the student. There is also a problem of gender discrimination. In some areas, girls are not allowed to study after a certain age. So this is another problem. And one problem which I have saw is that a disability and special needs. There are some students which are disabled. So many school and colleges are not inclusive for students with disability. So there should be a facility for their disability. Sometimes there are language barriers. Suppose if a student is from a Kerala state and if he took admission in Maharashtra. So there is a language barrier problem is also there. So medium of instruction also creates problem, especially for regional language student. So and another one problem is that the digital divide. In the digital era, many students still lack smartphones or internet to access online education, and for this we need money. So this is a financial burden on every parent. So what we can do for this? So if we need strong efforts from, especially number one, from the government, society, and individual. Which the thing which I have seen that in the government colleges for the PG student there is stipend, the fees is also very less. So for the homeopathy also we need strong efforts from government, society and individual. So government should increase investment in public education, provide scholarships and low interest educational loans. Free or subsidized education must be promoted, especially in rural or poor areas. Digital infrastructure like internet and devices must reach every village. There is a problem that this internet and digital infrastructure is not available at the village level. There should be a free internet devices for poor students, and NGOs and society should help children who drop out due to poverty. Due to poverty, some students are not getting what they want. Suppose a student wants to become a doctor, especially a homeopathic doctor. If the fees of the college is very high, then it is the parents' problem that they cannot pay the fees because of the financial burden. There should be awareness campaigns promoting education for all. Promote girl education with awareness and community support. This we can also do that. We can promote girl education, because it is seen that in education to males are very important according to tradition, so they avoid girls to take education. Better infrastructure in rural school, classrooms, toilets, computer, library, this we can do. And inclusive education for children with disabilities, special educators for disabled person, modified classroom to seat or to go for the disabled person. Teacher training, that Sani sir told that teacher training should be given, especially if the language barrier is there. For multilingual training should be multilingual and inclusive and digital education. So what is the conclusion of my today's topic is that, in conclusion, education is a basic right, not a privilege. It is a maulik adhikar, not a special privilege. Every child should have access to learning, no matter their background, whatever may be their background. But it is necessary to assess the learning by every student. Let's all work to create a system where no student is left behind due to money or lack of access. Let's come together to create a future where education is accessible, affordable, and equal for all. An educated youth is the strength of the nation. So take home message that if we truly want to develop as a nation, we must invest in education. Education should not be a privilege for the rich, but a basic right for all. It is a very important point. The education should be done by everyone. It is not a privilege for the rich. Let us raise our voices and work together to reduce the financial burden and improve accessibility, so no student or no child is left behind. Just as an example, Dhirubhai Ambani sir, he had quit studies early due to poverty. Kalpana Chawla has limited aerospace education in India, so he had gone to other country to learn all these things. Boman Irani is a actor, could not pursue higher education due to economic hardship. One is Bhauri Devi from Rajasthan, is a socialist, gender and caste based accessibility issue. So this is the example. Because of that financial burden and accessibility, they are unable to get all these things. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Sani sir, for giving me an opportunity. Thank you, sir. I think I've completed in 12 minutes.
Doctor, please unmute. Dr. Kudiar, please unmute.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Aparna Sandeep Parikh, for your presentation and sharing your views. Now it is time for our last panelist, Dr. Manasi Jatkar. Ma'am, please introduce yourself also before you start, and your time begins now, madam. Over to you.
I'm Dr. Manasi Jatkar, working as a professor and head of the department in the Department of Radiology, Dapoli Homeopathic Medical College, District Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. So I'm working in the Department of Physiology for more than 30 years now, and also as an academic council member, board of studies member in the Maharashtra University of Health Sciences. I'm also a private practitioner practicing in my own town.
Continue, ma'am, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to share my this PPT actually. So is that visible?
Yes.
So that is the topic that is given to me. The problems faced in education, especially regarding mental health, stress, of the medical students. So there are quite a lot of mental health problems which are seen these days. And now that I am working in the homeopathic medical college for quite many days, many years, I have been seeing that the incidence of mental health problems among students is rising. I will not say only mental health problems as such, but even the behavioral problems are seen quite more these days. So this is the condition of the students who are overloaded with the stress. So prevalence of mental health issues, according to this NIMHANS survey, which is being done in the year 2022, 1 in 3 medical students in India experiences significant symptoms of burnout and anxiety. So certain common disorders include depression and anxiety and also the burnout. Too much of stress to the medical students. So we can see the numbers: depression 28% UG, 15% PG students, anxiety 19.7% UG students and 14.8% PG students, burnout in about 30.2% of UG students and 26.5% of the PG students. There can be physical and mental exhaustion. The different issues actually are occurring because of various causes. Like there is academic pressure due to the rigorous curriculum. The students have to attend the theory hours, the lecture hours, the practical hours. They have to go to the clinics. They have to complete their journals. They have to have seminars, tutorials. So there is a rigorous curriculum and everybody may not be able to cope up with that rigorous curriculum. There can be some certain unrealistic expectations from the student himself, herself, or from the parents also. Everybody must be aware of own capacities and capabilities and have some acceptance regarding that, so that one will not have unrealistic expectations. Everybody wants to score high, everybody wants to go on top, but it is not possible with the capability that you have, and one has to understand that. Peer pressure, there is a peer pressure and competition, extra competition or over competition in certain aspects. Due to this rigorous curriculum and the clinics, the theory lectures, the other things that are academically involved, other activities also, there are quite long learning working hours and lack of work-life balance is there. The students are not doing anything beyond their studies. So there can be social isolation. They are just looking after their studies, their college, their submissions, and that is why they are not taking part in any of the social activities. They are not going for any programs of their relatives, and there can be social isolation, which is still aggravating the mental health problems. There can be problems of discrimination and ragging. Actually, ragging quite a lot of reduction in the incidence because of the strict measures taken by the government. But still, there can be certain fears about the seniors or something like that, which can be there. Financial burdens, as Madam has just now talked about. The students may be having, maybe studying with the help of scholarship. They may be having the fear that whether if their parents are not able to pay their fees on time, or certain scholarships are such that if they don't pass, if they fail in a particular subject, then the scholarship stops or something like that. So that might be also the cause of worry for those students. Stigma and underreporting. The stigma is a big problem. The students may notice that they are having some problem, but they are afraid that people may laugh at them, or and that is how they will not speak out that their problem. So if actually they speak out early, it can be treated. Inadequate support systems. Nowadays, the support systems by own parents, as well as friends, as well as relatives, are comparatively poorer as far as the previous ones. The main issues which are seen with the medical students are depression, low mood or loss of pleasure or interest in activities for long periods of time. So depression is one of the main problem with the students who are studying. If the student is not comfortable or he's unable to understand in the classes, there can be loss of interest and the students go home and then they don't want to return back. So especially those students who are staying away from the home. So they go back home during certain vacations and then they say that they are not interested in doing this course. So they are having a strong depression there. There is no interest in continuing that education. Anxiety, this is a feeling of fear, dread, or uneasiness that are out of proportion to the situation. Everybody has some anxiety. If there is a examination tomorrow, then a person is definitely going to have a little amount of anxiety, fear that how the paper will be. But if it is out of proportion, it is harmful. Stress, a feeling of emotional or physical tension, which is felt because of certain situations. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. If the stress prolongs for too long, then there is exhaustion, and the student is unable to study, unable to perform. There can be suicidal thoughts also. Suicidal thoughts is actually something very serious thing. So because of feeling of excessive stress, there can be feeling of uselessness. The student may feel that I am of no use, I am not studying, I am not getting marks, I am not satisfying my parents, I am not, or there can be fear of failing or not performing enough, and that can lead to the suicidal thoughts. So these are the certain issues which are observed in the medical students. Impact or consequences of these particular problems. There can be emotional and physical or psychological distress. The student is not at ease or he's not comfortable. There can be emotional and psychological distress with the student. So he's unable to perform. So the focus is not there. The focus gets impaired. And the focus from study is moved somewhere else also many a times. And there is reduced ability to retain knowledge. The poor academic performance will be there. There can be difficulties with the relationships. There can be social withdrawal because of not participating or not having any communication with the friends, family, or the relatives or their programs or some social programs. There can be reduced job satisfaction also, increased risk of emotional exhaustion, and impaired decision making is also the effect or consequence of various mental health problems. So in this case, actually, the various recommendations which we can do in order to avoid all these problems. What is important is regular assessments. So in order to avoid or going further with these mental health problems, there should be regular assessment which has to be done. It is really very difficult to assess any student mentally. Physical assessment is comparatively an easier aspect because you can just go on checking certain parameters and you will understand the physical ability or physical health. But assessing mental health is comparatively a difficult job. And actually, there is a much role of parents and friends also in this. The parents are having, nowadays, the parents are busy with their own schedule. They are busy earning money for their children. They are, and there is a trend of little like outsourcing, that if they have sent the student, their ward to the college and they're paying the fees, they will see that they will not have much time for anything extra because they are busy with their own careers also. There is also a role of friends. Nowadays, we see that many a times the student does not have many good friends also because of lack of time to spend with them. Many a times since beginning only the students are busy in the whole competition and rat race, and they keep on studying, going to this class, that class, and attending this examination, that examination. And that is how the friends are also not very close to understand that this person is having some problem. There can be the mentor-mentee programs which are there in the colleges can have some help in this, because the mentor has got very few student mentees with him or her, and whenever there is a talk or the communication at the time of mentor-mentee program, a good mentor should be able to understand if at all there are any changes in the mental health of the students or mentee who are under him. There can be role of counselors. If at all the problem is noticed, the mental health problem is noticed, the counselors can help. The counselors at the level of the college also, the counselors at the level of the college hospital or even outside can help these students. There are certain helplines which can help these students to deal with their mental health problems. The college itself can have stress management workshops in order to manage the stress in medical students. So the stress management workshops can be periodically held every 6 months or every year by qualified psychologically trained people. The relaxation techniques can also be there for the students. They can also be held periodically. There is a Telemanus initiative to improve the mental health support. There are other digital resources also, like there is one Clavicle, so made only Indian platform, which is focused on peer support and community building. This particular Clavicle, which is there, that is a community platform created for medical students and healthcare professionals, which is offering safe space to discuss, learn. But this is mainly about the career support as such. But still, many of them may be having fear or the anxiety regarding their career, and they can have free talk on this particular online platform. There is one more, Your Dose, which is an online emotional wellness and therapy platform, provides online counseling by psychologists 24/7. And there is availability of personal and emotional wellness coaches at this Your Dose. 7 Cups is also one more. That is there are trained listeners which are who are offering mental health support. So online mental health platform which provides active listening to the users 24/7. So students can access any of these digital platforms. And the one which is by the NMC, the Telemanus. Telemanus is by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India initiative. And there is also free 24/7 mental health support available in more than 20 languages of India. The counselors are available. One can call number 14416, and that is completely free and confidential, safe also. So these are the certain measures which can be taken in time, and the student can be prevented from going further. So the mental health always matters because it includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Sometimes it can determine the way we act, feel, or even respond to certain situations. And mental health is important at every stage of life, whether you are a young child, teenager, or adult. Here we are considering the medical student who has to deal with the patients. And if he himself is not mentally fit, then he will not be able to study properly because there are quite a lot of elements that are involved, like one has to have good memory, one has to have good performance, one has to have the development of the skills. So for all these things, mental health is very, very important. And that is why it is very necessary to take care of the mental health, because the person, the student, medical student needs to have good communication with the patients. He should have the feeling of empathy about the patient's feelings, and he should be able to perform well. He should be able to have the skills also. So one has, so it is very, very important. So these are the various things one can use to boost the mental health. Proper diet, exercise, one should control the mobile usage, sleep, one should propose certain goals. There has to be peace of mind, connect socially, get help, and volunteer work. So
Yes, doctor,
various ways.
the time is already over. Please wind up.
Yeah. So regular exercise, healthy eating, adequate sleep, relaxation activities by hobbies, setting certain goals and priorities by managing the time, practicing gratitude, giving to the society, focus on positivity, acceptance, and whatever has happened has happened. One has to, struggle is the integral part of the life. And that is why one should think that whatever has happened, what next? How I should come out of it? That
Mom,
is
please
what should
wind
be
up,
the
Mom.
approach. And a person should be staying connected with the family socially. So that will help the students.
Please wind up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. Now it is time for discussion. So we have 4 panelists already presented their ideas. We have a good number of listeners today. So please close your presentation. So I appreciate others to come out and make your statements about what the panelists discussed, or if you have something to say from your own side, please come forward and make the statement so that your ideas will be.
Saji,
Yes,
Dr.
ma'am.
Saji, can I suggest we have with us in the meeting Dr. Manjesh Chatkar.
Okay.
He is also present. So
Yeah,
if he
please,
can,
Dr. Man.
because his idea will be much better for all of us.
Yes,
Yesterday
yes,
he
Dr.
inaugurated our
Mangesh.
session, and today he is present here.
Yes, sir. Please, please.
Sir, Dr. Manjesh, you are here. You can, unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah, I have unmuted, sir.
Yeah,
Can you hear
please
me?
speak, sir.
Yeah. And open your video also, sir.
Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, wish you all a very good evening. I've been listening to
Yes,
the
sir.
speakers. It was a nice session wherein quite elaborately in a very short time, they have tried to cover a few points. The points that they have raised during their small presentation are really points of concern as of today in education. Now, as far as education is, school education problems vary, adolescent problems vary, puberty age problems vary. So the problems at every age with respect to education are changing. The scenario in the world is changing day by day. Quite a few points that have been raised by both the speakers are very true as of today. A lot of new innovations are coming in, but the fact will always remain that during our childhood, we saw that our parents had a lot of time to spend with us. Maybe this is the problem that our children are facing today due to the new gadgets and new amenities that have come, like internet, mobiles, and free availability of data access. So this is one problem, area of concern. The other area of concern, which I feel is very important, is the relationship between the teaching fraternity and the students. If we remember during our school days, the teacher was our parent. But today that scenario has changed. I don't think that that scenario should have changed as of today, because if that had continued, it would be like the child was being parented by the teachers. But that is not happening today. The concern is now reduced. The emotional attachment is reduced. The basic emotional quotient of the children is going down day by day. So we have to all work together by trying to induce in the new generation the importance of education, the importance of emotional attachment, the importance of togetherness. The true values of life have to be imbibed in the coming generation. Thereby, by default, the educational status and the thirst for knowledge will increase in every child. So that is my opinion as of today.
Okay,
And
thank
I
you, sir.
thank Sani sir for giving me an opportunity
Yes,
to
thank you,
speak.
sir, for
Thank you very
joining us
much.
today. We highly appreciate your presence incidentally, and thank you very much. So now we
Thank you,
need
sir.
to conclude. The time is almost 1 minute away. I also wish to share a few points regarding the panelist presentation. So regarding what Dr. Sahani sir said, the practical exposure of our teachers as a clinician is very important. Regarding what Dr. Joe Isaac said, that the clinical subject teachers should have more clinical time, and they should have practical exposure also to prove what they teach theoretically. That is very important. And regarding Professor Aparna Sandeep, financial difficulty and accessibility burden, I appreciate in each state the government should start more colleges, homeopathic medical colleges, to meet the financial needs and the low education system to be provided to the society. That is another. And regarding Dr. Mansi Jagdar, I wish to add that today there is corruption of the concept and attitude with unnatural, unhealthy philosophies, concept and attitude, etc. That is creating a lot of troubles in our society, in our families, destruction of families. These are also creating a lot of mental struggle for our students. So I appreciate, so already time is over. So I thank all of you for joining us today. There is no more time remaining. So I immediately hand over the session to the next moderator to continue the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.